Lesson 91. In the last lesson, we learned how to use possum, which means I am able. We learned that possum works along with an infinitive to make a sentence. Now in this lesson, we're going to learn all 6 forms of possum. Keep in mind that these 6 forms that we're going to learn are simply sum, est, sumus, estis, sunt, but with a prefix on the front. So the first person singular form is possum. That's just the word sum with pos attached to the front. The second person singular form is potes. That's just the word s, which means you are, with a pot prefix on the front. The third person singular form is potest. That's just the word est with pot attached to the front. The first person plural form is possumus. That's just the word sumus with pos on the front. Then we have the second person plural, that's potestis, which is just the word estis with pot added to the front. And then the third person plural form is possunt, which is just the word sunt with pos added to the front. So if you think about it a moment, you'll realize that these forms are really not all that difficult to recognize. And I think that when you see them in the exercises, you won't have any problems translating them. So let's get some practice with these forms by looking at the exercises. In exercise 1, we have potes. That's just the word s with pot on the front, and that means you are able. It's being negated by the word non. So non potes means you are not able. The infinitive is natare, which means to swim, and ad insulam is a prepositional phrase, and that means to the island. So number 1 says, you are not able to swim to the island. In number 2, we have possumus. That's just the word sumus with pos attached to the front. Ambulare is an infinitive that means to walk, and ad silvam is a prepositional phrase. So number 2 says, we are able to walk to the forest. In number 3, we have potestis. That means y'all are able, and it's just the word estis with pot on the front. It's being negated by the word non, so non potestis means y'all are not able. Natare is an infinitive that means to swim, and ad insulam is a prepositional phrase. So number 3 says, y'all are not able to swim to the island. In number 4, we have possum, which is just sum with pos added to the front, and it's being negated by the word non. Edificare is an infinitive that means to build, and scapham is the direct object. Sine pecunia is a prepositional phrase. So number 4 says, I am not able to build a boat without money. In number 5, narat is the verb. That means he, she, or it tells, or he, she, or it is telling. But we don't need the he, she, or it because nauta is the subject. Puellis is the indirect object, that's in the dative plural. Fabulas is the direct object, that's accusative plural. And saipe is an adverb that means often. So number 5 will say, the sailor often tells stories to the girls. In number 6, est is the verb. That means he, she, or it is, but we don't need the he, she, or it because scapha is the subject. Scapha is being possessed by the word nautarum, which is genitive plural. Prope actam is a prepositional phrase. So number 6 says, the boat of the sailors is near the seashore, or the sailor's boat is near the seashore. In number 7, laborant is the verb. That means they work or they are working, but we don't need the word they because puelli is the subject. In casa is a prepositional phrase. So number 7 will say, the girls are working in the house. In number 8, est is the verb. That means he, she, or it is, but we don't need the he, she, or it because scola is the subject. The word scola is being possessed by puellarum, which is in the genitive plural. Prope silvam is a prepositional phrase. So number 8 says, the school of the girls is near the forest, or the girls' school is near the forest. In number 9, amo is the verb. That means I like or I love. Spectare is an infinitive that means to watch. And scaphos is the direct object. So number 9 says, I love to watch the boats. In number 10, servant is the verb. That means they guard or they are guarding. But we don't need the word they because nautai is the subject and insulas is the direct object. So number 10 says, the sailors are guarding the islands.